Hi you guys, another short video on the HTC ONE X. Recently on a lot of the web forums, certain things have been picked up, especially since the launch of the Samsung Galaxy S3. One being the camera. There's been a big debate whether the camera on the S3 or the ONE X is the better camera. Now I believe that the actual internals of each mobile phone are near enough compatible. I think, to be honest, HTC have overloaded the phone with certain things they've put on, tweaked in certain ways that they've thought would be better for user use, battery, etc, etc. One of the things they've actually done on the phone that's nobbled it in my opinion and left it a bit behind the field is played around with the camera app. Now immediately it's not noticeable. The phone takes great shots, takes pretty good video. But there has been a lot mentioned about frame rates on video and certain shots taken with the camera have not been up to scratch for the 8 megapixel camera and the shutter aperture and the software that's loaded onto the phone. Delving around and doing a bit of quick research, I found that the photos that are taken by the stock camera are actually compressed. Now, why HTC should have done this, they're actually compressed to a lower file size. So, for instance, the normal camera shot would be around 3.5 megs on 8 megapixels. It's actually coming out about 1.4, 1.5 meg. And the same with the video, it's very compressed. The frame rate obviously is slower than, say, the Samsung Galaxy S3. What I have found by actually installing a third-party camera app, namely Camera ICS Plus, which is the ice cream sandwich camera, this overcomes a lot of the things that are actually on the standard camera. I'll just quickly, briefly go through what I can, but really you need to download this app from the market and try it yourself for comparison shots, because the actual shot difference and photo difference is incredible. The shots taken with the app from the app market, which is the Camera ICS Plus, are far superior to the camera shots taken with the stock camera. Now I'll try and show you on video some of the shots I've taken and I'll quickly go through it, but obviously on video you're not going to see what I can actually see with the naked eye on the screen. The stock camera on the HTC ONE X, you'll all be familiar with now if you've got a HTC ONE X or you've actually looked and seen the phone. You've got camera shutter to take photos, and you've actually got a video tab on the same screen, so you can switch between the two. You can actually video and take photos while you're actually taking video shots. You've all played around with it, so you can see basically the image resolution. If we can sort of zoom in there, if you quickly take note of the image resolution, if you can see it there, if I can get it in focus, I'll click on it again. I've got it set to 8 megapixels, which is 3264 times 184 resolution. Right, we'll go out of that quickly, bearing in mind what we've just said, and we'll go into the other application, which is basically the stock ice cream sandwich camera. Now, in this camera, if you go to the settings, you've got a setting at the bottom. You've got these slide-up settings that you can go to all sorts of different things like exposure, fluorescent daylight, blah, 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 blah. If we look, I've got the picture size at the moment set on 6 million pixels. Now, there is an option to take it to 8 million pixels. Right, I've got it set to 8 million pixels now. Now, if I just get rid of the menu there, 8 million pixels actually gives you a ratio on this particular phone using this particular app of a 4.3 ratio, same as an old television screen, not the 16.9 ratio that you're getting with the standard stock camera. But saying that, if I go back now and I change that down to 6, it's quite finicky now. I've actually got quite big hands, so there we go, down to 6 million pixels. Now we'll leave it there. We've got all the settings set. You can go into video camera and do all the silly faces and all the different things, but we'll leave it on camera. And I've just got a bit of a blanket on the background here, so we've got some stronger light to try and see what we're actually doing. I'll try and get that in front of the camera. So if I take a photo, right, bear in mind I've just taken that photo with this app that's downloaded from the app market. We'll get out there quickly and go to the stock camera. Same thing again, it'll sort of autofocus in and take a shot again. Right, we'll get out of them too, and we'll swiftly move over to the gallery, and it's in my media gallery. Right, camera shots. Now bearing in mind these are the last two I've just taken, I've got other shots there that I'll show you in a minute. The last two shots I've just taken, firstly we'll go to the one that I took first, which is using the downloaded application, and we'll click on it and we'll go to more and we'll go details. Now you can see the file size is try and get that so you can clearly see it. File size 3.63 megabytes. And if we scroll further down, resolution 3264 times 1840. Bearing in mind this was taken at 6 million pixels. Right, and we'll go back and we'll go to the second photo, which was taken with a stock camera. Same again, photo's not bad, pretty good quality, it's got all the cloth details. We'll do the same thing again, we'll go more, go details. Now you can see straight away that the file size is smaller, it's 2.12 megabytes. We go down and lo and behold the resolution is exactly the same, 3264 times 1840. Now that is actually the size of the snap, so it's what HTC are actually doing, they're using 8 million pixels but actually cropping the picture down so it's a 16.9 ratio. Therefore reducing the size of the picture. Why they've done this and why they should reduce the size of the picture. Basically we're getting a smaller file size on an 8 megapixel shot as we are on a 6 megapixel shot. So they're both the same size picture, exactly the same dimensions. One's coming in at 2.1 megabytes and the other one's 3.6 or whatever it was. So there's a vast difference. But if you download this app from the app market, it's totally free, and there is another one that I'll tell you about shortly, which you can download, but it's actually quite buggy at the moment. Right, moving on from that quickly, we'll go back. We'll go back to folders, go back to media, and I'll try and basically show you a couple of shots that I've taken. I'm not too sure whether it'll actually show up on camera and in this lighting conditions. So. Right, the 4 pictures you can see at the top, there's 4 pictures of flowers on there. The first one was taken with a stock camera and it's slightly oversaturated and the colours are more vivid and brighter than the actual real life picture, but the background, the white background on it is quite dull and it's not white. Now the second picture, which is the same flower, is taken with the ice cream sandwich application that I've downloaded from the app market. The third photo, which is next to it, is also taken with that because I was on the same application, and the last photo is actually taken with a stock camera. So I'll quickly go into these, and again I'll try and move them around best I can. Though it's a misrepresentation of actually what these photos actually look like, but that looks quite good. It looks quite bright, quite vibrant, but the background is quite dull. It was quite light conditions. It's caught the colours, but actually looking at it against the real life photo, it's far too saturated, the colours are far too deep, the greens are too deep, and it's not a true life representation. It's more like you would get with an AMOLED screen or the Samsung Galaxy S3. If I move on to the second photo, this is a more lifelike image, and it's near enough exactly as the flower looks with the naked eye. The white on the wall at the background is exactly as it looks. It's more vibrant than the picture before. I don't know if I can... Actually, on the camera, videoing it through another camera, it's not too apparent. You really need to try these side by side and you'll be amazed by the difference in the quality of the two pictures. Obviously the one taken with the application is nearly twice the size of the other picture, so obviously the detail is going to be more vivid, and if you pinch to zoom you're going to see more detail. Now the third one again is taken with the application camera ice cream sandwich plus. I'm trying to wiggle it around so that you can sort of see some of the resolution. It's quite hard under these lighting conditions and actually videoing it to let you see. And finally the last one, the whites are duller, the background's duller, and the actual colour in the flower is not a true representation, although what I'm seeing on the camera is not the same as what I'm actually seeing on the screen. Again, you really need to go to the app market and play around with these two apps. Again, if I go into details, detail on the last one that's taken with the stock camera, 1.75 megabytes, taken at 8 megapixel, resolution 3264 times 1840. All the details, I won't give you my location. quickly go back and I'll move back to one that was taken with the downloaded app, which is actually free on the market, but there's a paid version. But if you Google it and have a look around the internet, there's also the full version out there that you can actually get for free. It's just a case of finding it, and it's not a cracked version, it's just the full version of the ice cream sandwich camera. Right, okay, we're going to go back to that one and quickly look at the size of this one. Details. Same again, 3.17 megabytes, so again a bigger file, shot at 6 megapixels, not 8 megapixels. Resolution exactly the same, blah 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 blah, same phone, exactly the same. Another thing, without rambling on in this video and going too far, is the video options as well. The video options in the stock camera, working at a frame rate of about 23 frames per second. The downloaded one from the market, which is actually very, very stable. I've not had any problems with it. Obviously, you've not got a few of the features of the stock camera, but it is really, really good. You need to try it. Frame rate on the one downloaded from the market, 30 frames per second. There's another camera on the market that you need to try as well, but bear in mind it is quite buggy, and I had a few lockups with it where I needed to actually turn the phone off and restart it. What it did, it made the screen black, and in all three photo applications, the stock, the ice cream sandwich, and the other one that I'll tell you about in a minute, all of them got a black screen. When it was rebooted, they came back on. But if they actually get this other camera application working and working well, it will be the best of the three, and it's called igcamera. All one sentence, igcamera. If you download that from the app market and have a play around with it, some of the things you can do on that are actually amazing. You can actually get the frame rate up to 100 frames per second on video, and you can alter everything on it. But it's at the moment for maybe for Android 4 and certainly for the HTC ONE X, it's quite buggy. Again, I just want to point out that Samsung have had a 3-month lead on the HTC ONE X to get things together. HTC ONE X came out roughly 3 months ago. As I said at the beginning of the video, 3 months is an awful long time for a mobile phone to be out. Obviously, HTC got this phone out, and in my mind, in my opinion, once this phone is sorted out either by HTC or you add in other apps from the market or whatever, it will beat the Samsung Galaxy S3 hands down on design, build, usage, basically everything. There's not much that you can really... If you were to put Apex Launcher on the S3, put them side by side, there's absolutely nothing in it. The only thing is that's actually slowing this phone down, and to a certain extent knobbling some of the features, is HTC playing around with the ice cream sandwich software, tweaking it to their advantage or what they think will be their advantage, and basically crippling a few of the things that should be, at the moment, world beating items on this particular phone. Anyway, I hope you like this video. If you like it, subscribe, give me a thumbs up below, and I'll get some more videos out to you soon.